Welcome back to another Insider. And this week we continue talking about things that are very important for translation and translators. We start this month of May. And I'm going to talk about NAATI and the recertification cycle. This may be something that for some translators that may be starting or planning to apply for NAATI recertification, which is, by the way, something that I strongly recommend. This may cause a little confusion. How do they do it? Is it difficult? So today I'm going to talk about the whole process of recertifying with NAATI, so we get this clarified for all of you. So come with me. Let's talk about NAATI. So let's talk NAATI. Let's go. As I said, when you finish your certification, or should I say when you are granted your certification by NAATI, you get your certificate, you get your stamp or card, independently of what you do. If you are a translator, you would get the stamp. If you are an interpreter, you will get the card. And of course, you are ready to start your business and you are ready to start working as a certified translator or interpreter in Australia. I'm going to say it. I've said it many times. I think this is pivotal to our career. If you are in Australia, you should definitely have NAATI certification and be also a member of AUSIT, because I think it is very beneficial for us, not only in the aspects of getting PD and getting contact with other colleagues, but because it really sets a higher standard for the profession. And these two bodies, both NAATI and AUSIT, do a great job of advocating for our profession and creating awareness of the importance of our job, and indeed showing people that we are not just people that speak two languages. We actually are qualified professionals, because as probably you might have seen over LinkedIn and other platforms, being bilingual does not make you a good translator or interpreter. So that idea that sometimes is thrown around, it's fake, it's false. You can be bilingual, you can speak two languages fluently, yes, but that does not make you a good translator or a good interpreter. Of course, it's part of our profession. We need to be fluent in the languages that we work with, but there's so much more, so many layers of complexity and skill that you need to have to do this job. You need to understand the specificities of each language, the cultures, etc., etc. It's not a black and white thing that you just know two languages and you can do it. It's not exactly like that. So it is important to know that. But this is not the subject for this video. This would be for another video. I think I've said it. I've wrote about it. I've written about it so many times. But I keep on stressing, because for me, it is actually something that I consider very, very important. But I digress. Once you get your certification, your relationship with NAATI has not finished. In fact, it has just started. It is important that you know the process from then on. You get your certificate, you get your stamp or card, and then you get access to your portal, to My NAATI portal. On that, you log in, you have your own login with a number that will be given to you by NAATI, and you will be able to log in and do everything from, for example, apply for a new test if you have another pair of language, or if you want to do the test in the other direction. Another thing that you should know is that any test that you do will always be for a pair of language in one direction of translation only. If you want to do the other direction, you would have to sit another test and get another certification. This is something that sometimes we may be a little confused about, and we might think that once we get the certification, we get it in both directions. I myself, when I started translating and when I did my course, I was actually under the impression that once I finished the course and I did my diploma in translation with the Chartered Institute of Linguists, that would be for both directions. It is not the case. It's only for one direction. So bear that in mind. But once you get it, then you have your portal. You have, as I said, you can apply for another test if you need to. You can pay for your invoices. You can apply for, another certification. All your applications would be there. Another test, your certification, for example. Everything, it's on your portal, including your logbook. What is your logbook? Well, your logbook is where you insert all your activities for that certification period. When you get your certification, that is valid for 3 years, and after those 3 years, you have to recertify. So what does this mean? This means you'll have to satisfy NAATI that you are still active in the profession, you have met the criteria for getting that certification renewed. What are the criteria? So let's see. You have two main components of your logbook. You have the practice and you have the professional development, or as we usually call it, PD. For your practice, you have to translate or proofread at least 30,000 words in that 3-year period. So it's an average of 10,000 words per year, which, if you are active in the profession, unless something really, you might be sick or something like that, I would say it's quite attainable, because you can get it. Sometimes one project will already give you that. If you, for example, I'm thinking about the colleagues that do literary translation. You translate a book, chances are you meet those 30,000 words in just one project. So obviously, depending on which specialization you have, but I don't think it would be complicated to reach this number of words. Then you have to, obviously, on each project, all you have to do, you have to put the date that you have completed that project, you have to put the number of words, and a slight description of what that project was about. For example, I'm giving you one example that it's very common for me: certified translation of a school report. You don't need to name your clients, you don't need to provide any information. You can upload files. However, NAATI does not want you to upload the files of the translation itself, because, of course, you have to adhere to our OSIT Code of Ethics, and of course, you are under a confidentiality clause, and we cannot disclose the content of our work to a third party unless if it's legally required. So, obviously, if you want, you can put invoice. I've never done it. I've never uploaded anything. I just put the projects there. because if NAATI wants, or if NAATI wants to verify anything, they can name you for an audit, and then they will come and check whatever you have. So this is how it works. Then you have your PD logbook. So there's two components, two logbooks if you like. One is for the practice, the other one is for the PD. And the PD, you have to insert all the webinars, short courses, networking events, whatever activity you do that contributes to your professional development. NAATI has a catalog with all the categories that you might be having PD, so where you can attribute your activities to. You can look at the catalog and see in which of those categories or subcategories, because it has categories and main categories and subcategories, where you can insert your specific activity in. If you have any doubts, you can always contact NAATI, but I think it's pretty straightforward, and you will find easy to see where exactly these activities go. So you have to, for the practice, 30,000 words in the period of 3 years. For the PD, you have to complete at least 120 points. In this case, it's not per words, obviously, it's points. Each activity that you attend will give you these points, and in total, you have to have at least 120 points for these 3 years recertification cycle. These points are divided in categories and main categories. So here we are how you should do it. So minimum 30 points for maintenance of language. That would be things like short courses or webinars, or things that help you maintain your language level, for example, your Lotte language level, even magazines and newspaper subscriptions or newspapers you read, everything that helps you maintain your linguistic level on that particular language. Obviously, you can include in your logbook. You have to prove. For example, in the case of newspapers, I don't really subscribe because they are free for me to read. So I put the link of the newspapers, the Portuguese newspapers that I usually do read. So NAATI knows where I'm getting my information from, where I'm connected to, etc. For example, OSIT membership gives you points as well. There's a few other things that awards you points. So this is for maintenance of language. There's 30 points minimum in 3 years. Then you have another 30 points for industry engagement, and this will be anything that you do that help or keeps you engaged with the profession. For example, if you are part of the mentoring program, if you are part of a language division, if you are part of something that contributes for our profession in any way. And then you have various subcategories. I'm not going to go and delve into all of them. The catalog is available in the NAATI website. You can go there and have a look, and then you can obviously choose which one is the most appropriate for the case of whatever activity you are doing. Then another 30 points for your skills development and knowledge. This is for all these other PD events, for all these other courses or small courses, webinars, conferences, summits, whatever you might attend that may or may not be translation or interpreting directly related, but they still are considered professional development because they help you grow your business, they help you grow professionally. For example, I'm thinking about something in the likes of a course or a tutorial or something that you do for learning web designing, coding, HTML coding or something like that, in order to, for example, build your website. This is professional development. You are acquiring a skill, a new skill that will help you grow your business, that will help you build your website. That is a pivotal part of your business. It might be other things, for example, in financial, or even something that a course or tutorials or anything that you do in your specialization. For example, I don't know, something if you work in the financial industry, something in that regard. I did a few years ago 2 courses about translation. So it was legal translation for contracts. This was from a school, a provider in Portugal, because it was a translation into Portuguese. The lecturer was herself a lawyer. So that obviously is on these skills development and knowledge, because it's not directly related to the translation industry, but it is part of your development. So here you can put a wide range of things that will help you develop, will help you grow your business and grow yourself professionally, and may not be directly related to translation itself. However, it is still professional development. And then you have 10 points for ethics. Adhering to the Code of Ethics, OSIT Code of Ethics is obviously part of that. You are granted some points for that. And then other events that you might acquire that you obviously may include there. And sometimes, and most probably every year, OSIT has very good webinars about our Code of Ethics and development in the Code of Ethics, because of course with this ever-changing world, everything is changing all the time, and we really need to keep update with all these things. So it is important. So that catalog is a very important part of it. You can go and refer to the catalog. You can go there and see where exactly that activity fits in. If you have any doubts, I think it's very easy. You can contact NAATI and ask for some advice. But I think you won't really have that issue, because you really look and it's quite self-explanatory. It says what it is. So now, a few tips. This is what I have been doing. And when I started, back then it was the NAATI accreditation, we did not have the portal, so we had to do everything manually. So I had to build spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets, where I would do my 2 logbooks. So the PD and the practice. Today, NAATI streamline all this process. You have your portal directly into the NAATI. So when you go and you submit, you just go submit and it just goes directly. You don't need to do emails, save files and do anything complicated. You just need to insert all your activities there. Once it gets to the time that you are eligible for recertification, you just need to apply, send your logbooks, and the job is done. They will then assess everything and they will send you the invoice for payment. And then once you have paid your invoice for the recertification, they will start then the reviewing process, And it's easier, obviously, depending on the information you provide, if you meet all the criteria or not. But it's usually between 1-2 weeks you will get the response. That's why I usually do it right at the beginning of my eligibility cycle, so everything runs smoothly. I don't stress that I'm reaching the end of my credential and I don't have my recertification yet. So usually that happens. Just to give you an idea, I was eligible on the last day of Feb. My certification would finish at the end of May. I already have the new my new stamp. I already have everything, so I'm basically covered. No problem, no stress. Everything was done, and I still have plenty of time. I still had until the end of this month to apply, but I decided to do it at the very first day, which was the last day of Feb for me, and everything was done in a very timely fashion. Everything is done without stress, without any nerves. So that is one of my tips. Make sure your logbook is filled in correctly. That is very important. I usually do that at the end of the month. I insert all my practice for the month and all my PD for the month. So that ensures that you are not gonna forget anything, that nothing just flies under the radar and you don't put it there. And obviously it's important that you put it there because you need to meet that criteria. You need to meet those 120 points and 30,000 words. NAATI gives you a 2-month buffer. That's what I was talking about for the recertification before your credential expires. As I said, I usually submit my paperwork at the very, very first day I'm eligible for it, because like that, it gives you plenty time. If, for example, NAATI needs further documentation or something happens, you still have plenty of time to provide NAATI with everything that they might need before your credential expires, so you are certain that it never elapses, it never expires, and you are never in a period where you are not certified. So that for me is a very, very important. And as I said, I already have my my stamp. Even though my previous stamp is still valid, I could still use it until the end of this month. However, now I have the new one. My old one has already been packed, and I do have my new stamp. I have everything to work, and I'm relaxed and happy that everything went smoothly. I think that is important. Doing this, as I said, ensures a very smooth process. I think this is important. Another thing is attend PD. Of course, don't go and attend every single PD OSIT sends you, or every single professional development event that you see online, specifically those, because some may not be very good, some may even not be legit, so be careful about that. Just don't go and attend everything, because not everything will award you points. You have to include those PD events in that catalog. So it needs to be something that is relevant to your business, that is relevant to your job. For example, if you are, let's say, a legal translator, and out of a sudden you go and attend a PD event, you attend some event about cooking, obviously that's not going to be of any interest for you. So be aware of that. You can attend things that are going, and for example, by no means, if you decide to change your specialization and you decide to go for cooking, then you can, but you have to specify that you are changing your specialization, and that was to acquire some knowledge to start working on that field, for example. So make sure that every single PD that you attend are relevant to your profession, to your job, to your business, and they can be included in your PD. For example, if you are a lecturer, like me, if you have courses like I do, you can insert that, because that is engagement with the industry. You are helping the industry by your contribute. This YouTube channel, I'm contributing to the industry by providing information about how we work as translators. So everything that is something that helps, that keeps you engaged, for example, can help. So you need to understand, you need to read the logbook, and you need to understand what is really relevant to you, because if it's not relevant, of course, it's not going to be PD. After that, you just click send, wait for NAATI to reply to you with the first assessment that they've got everything, and then they send you with the invoice, you pay the invoice, and then you wait for the response if your application was successful or not. I would say that in most cases it will be, because obviously if you are active in the profession, if you are working, if you have all these PD events, which, as I said, it's not difficult to get, there would be no issue in you getting your certification. I decided to talk about this today, so I create this awareness about what really means to be a NAATI certified professional, and what you need to do in order to keep that certification. It's not a one-off thing. You get it and then you sit on it for the rest of your life. You need to prove that you are really committed to the profession, that you are really committed to your professional development, and you are still serious in this business. So if you have any questions, you obviously can contact me and I'll be very happy to answer you. And that's all for today. I hope you liked this insider. I hope it really helped you understand how the certification, the NAATI certification works, and how you navigate through this 3-year cycle to get your certification ongoing. It is pretty simple. There's nothing really complex about it. It's just straightforward. You just have to put there whatever you have done and satisfy NAATI that you are really committed to the profession. I think that is the main part of the whole process. But as I said before, if you have any questions in regards to this or any other question, please feel free to comment and leave me your questions below, and I'll be very happy to answer. And of course, if you have any suggestion of a new topic that you would like me to discuss in these insiders, something that is related to translation that you think would be important for you and for the profession, just let me know. I'm very happy to accommodate that. And of course, you can always put a comment about anything that I've said. Do you agree? You don't agree? Whatever. What has been your experience as a certified NAATI certified interpreter or translator? Let me know what have been your experience. It's always good to talk about these things. I think it is very good. First of all, I think we should see ourselves as a community of professionals and not just competitors. I think that is a big mistake that some translators do. We see seeing other colleagues as competitors, so they tend to isolate themselves rather than get together. I think that is a big mistake. Yeah, there is a competition component on this job because obviously we are working for ourselves and so our colleagues, but I don't think anyone is out to get you, or I don't think any of your colleagues are here to, jeopardize your interests or anything like that. So it is a very important thing. And that is part of our code of ethics as well. Our, solidarity with our colleagues, solidarity with your peers, and it is important, I think. It is a very positive thing because it just gives you that sense of belonging, and it is a fact that there's things, for example, that you need to discuss, that if you're going to talk about it with your friends, they're not translators, they won't be able to really give you an opinion because they may not have one. So if you have your peers and if you can talk to your peers about things, you are all in the profession. You might all be navigating the same issues. So why not sharing it? For the benefit of the profession itself, I would say, and for the benefit of everyone in that community, everyone in this job. So I think this is very important. I love when I have contact with my peers. I love to have this contact. As you know, I'm part of the OSIT mentoring program. I love to have my mentees and help the new generation of translators succeed in their careers. I think one of the reasons I did this and one of the reasons I enrolled for the mentoring program was that when I started, we really didn't have this network of support, or at least I wasn't aware of this big network of support that we do have now. So we were more isolated, and with isolation usually comes lots of mistakes, because if you are isolated and if you are unsure about things, you might tend to second guess yourself. You might tend to do something that may not be the best practice. Whereas if you are really in contact with other colleagues, some of them might be more experienced than you, and they might guide you into the right path. And I think, and this is definitely the reason why I became a mentor, if you are telling your new colleagues, the ones that are embracing this profession now, look, this is what I've done and this is a mistake, you are obviously steering them away from that mistake. And if they don't make that mistake, they may reach their full potential way faster than you ever did. And for me, this is what keeps me going. This is what made me become a mentor. This is what made me create my courses and my school at Teachable. I'll leave the link below. If you are interested in any of my courses, either the translation related ones or the language courses as well. This is what really got me into this. It was the need to help. It was the desire to see the new generation of translators really getting into this profession, having all the tools they need in their hands so they can succeed and have a good and fulfilling career. I think that for me is it's a very, very rewarding feeling. And I think that is why I'm involved with all of this, because I do see that together we can do lots of things. Isolated, we do nothing. So I think this is my philosophy, and I'm sticking to it. Put a like on the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new insider every week. As you know, I'm very grateful for you. The channel is growing. I'm so happy about that. But a lot of you come, watch my videos, don't subscribe, don't put a like. It's good. I'm still happy. I'm still thankful. But if you could just put a like and subscribe the channel, that will tell the YouTube algorithm that my channel has more viewers, more subscriptions, and of course YouTube will show the content to more people, so I'll reach more possible translators that might be interested in what I have to say. So put a like, subscribe with a little click on the bell, and you get a notification of a new insider every week. Once again, if you have any questions, any suggestions, put a comment below. I'm very, very, very happy to answer you. And before I go, as usual, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.